red, green, blue. No, we're not talking about the three primary colors of a color wheel. These are common colors of treasury seals represented on paper currency. The blue seals most often represent silver certificates, or currency backed by silver. Red seals were most recently United States notes, issued directly by the government and not the Treasury. And the green seals are Federal Reserve notes, which we see in all currency made today. There was another popular color of Treasury seals in the early 1900s, the gold seal. These seals appeared on more familiar-looking notes from the $10 denomination all the way through the $100,000 bill from 1928 to 1934, but they were more prevalent as large-size notes beginning in the mid-1860s. What's a gold seal note? It's also known as a gold certificate, meaning that the denomination of banknote was backed by the same amount of gold in the U.S. Treasury. You could exchange the certificate for gold at any bank. These certificates were used as a form of paper money until 1933, when the redemption of gold coin was halted. In fact, the Gold Reserve Acts of 1933 made it illegal for the public to be in possession of gold coins or certificates at all. When the act was lifted in 1964, the notes could no longer be redeemed for gold and mostly became the gorgeous collectibles that they are today. Let's take a look at some of them. The first gold certificates in 1865 were known more for their backs than their fronts. Some even had red seals despite being clearly labeled as gold certificates. It took until 1906 with this $20 note before we saw the first true gold seal. Sometimes they're referred to as yellow seals, but they're still gold certificates. The most interesting part of these bills? The orange backs. Well, they looked orange, but they were supposedly gold, and these bills were referred to as goldbacks. All large-size gold certificates had this color on the reverse, regardless of the denomination. Here's a $10 note from 1907, a $50 note from 1922, a $100 note from the same year, which ended up with a red seal again, and even a $1,000 note from 1922. Then in 1928, when the size of currency was reduced, gold certificates began to look more like today's notes, including on the backs, which were now green. 1928 issues included the 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, and 10,000, all with yellow seals. Where were the 1s, 2s, and 5s? They were issued in 1928 as red seals only. Just 6 years later, in 1934, a set of higher denomination gold seals returned, all with the return of the orange back. You had a 100, 1,000, 10,000, and the infamous $100,000 bill. If you bring a gold seal bill to the bank today, you'd probably get face value for it. You'd be much better off bringing it to a currency dealer or a currency trade show where you could fetch a nice haul for your valuable collectible.